I saw this interesting interview the other day. David Hogg, he was on, I believe, with Jake Tapper on CNN. And I don't know if you guys remember David Hogg. He was one of the student activists that came out after the Parkland shooting in Florida. I think they lost like 17 or 19 kids. It was awful. It was bloody as hell. And David Hogg was one of those people that came out of it. I remember there was a video that I saw after it happened. It had only been like a couple of months after it happened, and David Hogg and some other students were really super vocal about it. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was not a congresswoman at the time, was following him around Washington when he came to speak to some representatives about gun control laws. And Marjorie was following him around with a camera going, "How dare you try to take away our Second Amendment rights? Who do you think you are? I don't care what you have to say. You need to just go back to where you came from." It's like, bitch, he survived a fucking mass shooting. You are a psycho. Crazy. Go do some more CrossFit, you crazy bitch. Jesus Christ. Anyway, David Hogg was on with Jake Tapper, and he was being interviewed in regards to what we need as the Democratic Party to do. Now, David Hogg is the DNC vice chair. I don't know how many vice chairs that they have, but he's up in the ranks in the DNC because he's been very vocal, and he's coming up in the world politically, and he has been saying we're done with centrism. Centrism is cooked. We can't have this anymore. We can't, be doing half measures. We can't be having, compromise with these people anymore, because if you compromise with fascism, you get half fascism, and then you have to compromise and again and again and again, and eventually all that's left is fascism. If you're sitting at a table with 10 fascists, or 10 Nazis, there's 11 Nazis there, because you're there. You're sitting with them. So David Hogg gets asked about James Carville, James Carville is a blast from the past. He used to be on the Clinton team back in '92. And his claim to fame is a quote from 1992. So over 30 years ago, and he is still cashing in on this same fucking tired ass quote. "It's the economy, stupid." That was his quote. "It's the economy, stupid." And now every once in a while, they'll bring him on the news to get some sage Southern wisdom from a Louisiana man who's a Democrat in name only. And let me tell you here, all of these woke liberals out there, they're just pushing a little bit too hard. Look, let's just compromise with them. His advice after the inauguration, Donald Trump started going crazy and doing his crazy ass shit with Elon Musk and what have you. And they asked James Carville, I believe he wrote an article, and in the article he said that the Democrats should just lay down and let them destroy themselves. It's not going to hurt him. He's rich. He's fine. He's got $1 million mansion, or, McMansion or whatever in Louisiana. Boy's old school money. He ain't going to be hurting, but the rest of the country is going to get fucked over. And he's like, no, the Democrats, just let the Republicans hang themselves. Meanwhile, they don't just hang themselves, they hang the rest of us with them. And David Hogg is like, man, this shit ain't working. And of course, James Carville answers back, this boy, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. Trust me, I'm the one that said it's the economy, stupid. I know I'm sitting here with my goddamn ball cap and a t-shirt sitting on the couch. I was asleep like 5 minutes ago. Then I got a call from Jake to be on here, and I'm just going to have a little conversation. Oh, yeah, hold on for a second. Let me get a cup of coffee or something before you ask me. I don't give a good goddamn about that old David Hogg. Who the hell does he think he is? Was he on the Clinton team? He don't know jack shit, boy. So David Hogg ain't having any of his shit. And personally, not only do I agree with him, but it ain't just James Carville, man. There are so many centrist liberals that we have to purge from the party. That was the thing. that David Hogg was saying is that we need to be primarying, these stagnant, unmovable, centrist libs. We need to be primarying them. We have got to go full force. You can't just, back and forth with fascism. You need to defeat them. And the only way to defeat them is to get rid of the centrist Dems that are acting like blockers. It's like, how are we going to get to defeat the fascists if I'm too busy fighting somebody like James Carville or somebody like Rahm Emanuel, who, by the way, was Barack Obama's chief of staff. And when Barack Obama's like, maybe we should do some Medicare for all or something like that, and Rahm Emanuel's like, no, we can't do that. With the economic crisis of the Great Recession, maybe we should start bailing out some of these people, that are defaulted on their loans and now they can't pay it off. Maybe we should give them a little bit of break. No, Rahm Emanuel's no, you can't do that either. Meanwhile, our economy takes 5 years to recover as opposed to just immediately starting to recover. Barack Obama was, maybe we should, maybe we should prosecute some of these people that wrecked the economy in '08. And Rahm Emanuel was like, no. Let's, I got a better idea. Let's hire those people to fix the fuck up that they fucked up. Another centrist, another fucking idiot. Gavin Newsom, who, by the way, has done the turn. He's got his own podcast, yet again, another political figure that is now doing a podcast like Ted Cruz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and I think all of them at this point have a fucking podcast. And it's don't you have a job? Aren't you the fucking governor of California? The 5th largest economy in the world. But yeah, I got to do some podcasting. I got to talk to Steve Bannon. I got to talk to Charlie fucking Kirk of Toilet Paper USA. When you have people like this standing in your way, how can you defeat the Republican Party when I'm too busy fighting against you? Andrew Cuomo, we're going to have to deal with that son of a bitch right here in New York. That guy is the worst. And right now he is currently trying to reinvent himself. Former governor, disgraced governor, all the fuck-ups during COVID, look, I'm not saying I could care less about the ass grabbing and the sexual harassment. That is, that's punishment worthy. But it always bothers me that the reason why a politician gets taken down is usually some kind of sexual indiscretion and not for the blatant corruption. The dude is owned by real estate. He did the IDC, the Independent Democratic Conference, where he had a whole bunch of conservative Democrats block any kind of progressive legislation before it even got a chance to get to his desk. Andrew Cuomo was like, oh, I wish I could do all of these progressive things that all of you wonderful blue state New Yorkers want, but I just can't do it because the goddamn IDC just won't let me do it. And meanwhile, he's given them huge donations. And that's another thing about the donations with these centrist types. They get huge donations from places like AIPAC, And AIPAC is, at this point, most Democrats just not on board with AIPAC or, what the Israeli government is doing. So AIPAC is getting a lot of its funding from secret Republican donors. And then that money is funneled into centrist Dem coffers. And then they run against progressives. Like that shit-ass Dan Goldman, who is a congressman here, local district around me. And that guy got huge swaths of money from AIPAC and defeats a progressive candidate. David Hogg is not wrong. We need to take it to these people. These people need to be purged from the party. If you want to be politicians, go right ahead and be a politician, but be on the party side that you actually represent, the Republicans. Gavin Newsom, Andrew Cuomo, Rahm Emanuel. If you want to be a politician or be in politics, just run as a fucking Republican because that's what you are. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.